days since I planted these tomatoes, and they're just set in a small cell with seed starting mix, and so I need to up-pot them for them to keep growing. I have probably about 100 plants. So I've got some just regular little cups from buying plants at the store, as well as I'm probably going to need to dip into my solo cups. So once I get there, I will show you what I'm going to do with this. So let's get planting. So first I'm just going to fill these all up with soil. And I'm just using a store-bought potting soil mix. Nothing fancy. And then there's some sticks in it, so I'm just going to remove the sticks. So I like to reuse things as much as possible. And so for my label stick things, I've just cut up a old sour cream or yogurt container. And then you can just write name on it. Works pretty well. It does kind of wear off sometimes, but that's okay. So I do have some yellow pear already. And this one's a new variety for me. So I'll make a new tag. Yellow boy. So this is this tray. So what I'm just going to do is pull this out. I've got the root ball, and then I'm just going to separate them as gently as possible. Make a nice hole in the middle and plant it really, really deep, almost down to the leaves. Because tomatoes will grow roots all up their stems. So I intentionally did not water this particular cell for the last couple days so the soil's nice and dry and I can just pull it straight out. So out of everything out of my garden, this is probably the 10th year I've grown tomatoes. I started growing tomatoes in my parents' front yard with great success. And so tomatoes are one of the few things I can plant and grow reliably. And last year I ended up starting my tomatoes a little too late, as well as my lighting situation was terrible. It was just a light bulb, a grow light bulb, the like incandescent bulbs, just in the basement, and there wasn't enough light, so they were slow to start. But I did get a few tomatoes off of them, and then this year it'll be significantly better. So if any of the plants don't look great, like I have a really wilty, didn't even make it, a little wilty guy, I'm just not going to use it. Take the strong ones for sure. I'm definitely not hurting for tomato plants, so I can stand to lose a few. And then after they're planted, give them a really good soaking. And then the first couple days or so, they might look a little wilty and sad, but they'll bounce back. The key is to keep as much root as possible. This guy looks pretty good for my last one. Alright, so I've got a whole row of, where'd my thing go? Yellow boys. That's all this. let's fill some pots and keep going. Since I'm still about a month and a half away from planting outside, I've decided to put each of the tomato plants into its own pot so it can grow nice and strong. If I was a little closer to planting out, I could put 2 or 3 into the pot, and then once they become crowded, then plant them out. But I just don't have the space to do that. I don't have the beds built yet, nor any sort of outside protection to do that with. So these are the yellow pears I'm doing. They're a big hit in the house. Nice cherry style tomato. Love the smell of tomatoes. Just the smell of the leaves. It smells like spring. So if your tomatoes ever get tall and leggy, don't worry about it too much. Just transplant them and then plant them deep all the way out to the bottom roots. So these are yellow pears. We've run out of little cups, so I'm just going to switch to solo cups. Just your typical red solo cup. I don't have a garden center around me, otherwise I would have just bought more little containers. But because these don't have any drainage in them, we need to drill some holes. So I'm going to take a third of my stack. Got my drill. Got a 1-inch or 1/8 drill bit. Really doesn't matter. I'm just going to drill 4 holes. There. Because I drilled a stack, I've got holes in all of them. So I'm just going to do that for the rest of them. I can just fill my solo cup just like normal. Cheap and easy pot. To get all of the tomato plants up-potted as well as my brassicas. I ended up retransplanting the tomato plants into the solo cups just because it fits better into the tray. It fits 15 really nicely, or you can squeeze it and it fits 18. So all my tomatoes and brassicas. I also ended up planting some more marigolds and lilianthus flowers. I was going to plant the cucumbers and pumpkins, but I'm still about a month and a half out, so I think I'll wait for a couple more weeks. Yeah, so I hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next video.